What's up, everybody? It's QQ Nub Gaming coming at you. It is Tuesday, the 16th, and I got a whole new set of deals and info for you about what's going on this week. In my last video, I talked about Green Man Gaming and their birthday sale. Well, it's day 7. This is the final day, and they got some pretty ridiculously good deals. The one that you're looking at right now is Doom. So it's $19.79. And if you apply the 7 years code to it, it drops it down to about $15 or so. It's a super good deal. The game's a great game. Anybody who's ever been on the fence about buying this game, just pull the trigger for $15. It won't be that cheap until Christmas, at least if it's that cheap. It'll probably be $19. It's possible it'll hit $10 around Christmas, but it's $15. It's not going to go much cheaper than that. On top of it, they got Fallout, and Fallout is 50% off with another 20% off if you use the 7 years voucher. Now, I've actually seen this, I think, a little bit cheaper than this, but this is still a pretty good deal. And of course, they have their standard deals on all the rest of the stuff. So you should be good with any of that stuff. But Doom, if you've ever been on the fence about this or you have it on your list, this is the time to pick it up. Now, let's talk about Humble Bundle here. I actually picked this up today because I had a number of games in it that I've been on the fence about, but singularly, I didn't want to know if I wanted to spend $5 or $6 on them or whatever they were. But now, if you look at it, so you've got this Ziggurat, Windward, and SteamWorld Heist. So I have SteamWorld Heist and Windward on my list. I have Kentucky Route Zero and Beholder on my list. Now, Goat Simulator, it's a ridiculous game. If you haven't played it, I got it free, I think, on the Xbox One, and my son thinks it's hilarious. He has a great time with it, and it includes all the DLCs, which there's a ton of different DLCs with it. So I picked up all of this today for $7. It's now $7.44. The longer the sale goes on, it gets a little bit more expensive. I don't know what this is. They do this every now and again. They say, oh, we're going to throw in some more. They try to incentivize you to buy early and then throw something in at the end. Honestly, I can't remember if it's actually just junk or if it's something good. So the one that's the $13 or more, I looked at it. It looks like an okay game. It's like a platformer, side scroller, but it's not really my thing. So I did not pay this, but I did the $7. I think it was $6 and change, and I got basically 6-7 games out of it. And each one of these games by themselves is probably minimum on sale $3. So I got 7 games at $3. That's 20 some odd dollars right there. These are all indie games, smaller developers, so they're not AAA titles. They're just kind of fun games. But Humble Bundle, you should always check out Humble Bundle. They always have really cool things. Now, as far as the events go, there's really 2 events that are going on right now. Or there's one event going on now, one coming, at least the ones that I'm paying attention to. Actually, in the Star Trek, it's not really an event, but they are coming out with these new, like this light cruiser bundle. So if you're not familiar with the game, they create all of these different ships all the time, and they have ships for each faction. They make variants of these ships. They make, they might have one that was the last generation, and then they'll refit it or retrofit it, and it's got better stats or whatever. So this is the light cruiser bundle, and it's a very iconic ship, and it's the reason why I'm talking about it is because it's the Defiant from Star Trek II, the Wrath of Khan. Everybody loves that ship. It's one of the ships that you start out with in the game. Well, they've updated it, and it's now one of the top-end light cruisers. So you can play it as the top-end character. It's a top-end ship. It's been refitted, and it looks pretty darn cool too. So you got a Federation, Klingon, and Romulan variant of it. This right here, what we're looking at, is just the stat page, this is the page that's just introducing what's going on. So let's pop over to Steam. The only thing I really saw on Steam that was of any note was Torment. So I actually made some play videos of Torment. I think it's a great game. they just released some new content called Servant of the Tides, and there's a new companion that they've added to it. I don't know anything about it because I haven't tried it yet, but there's a whole new storyline and a new companion, and they've actually, it looks like they've increased the tier, or basically the level cap, so you can become more powerful as you go along, and you can allocate more of your stat points as you go. But this is a really fun game. Check out some of the play videos that I have. I've got a video actually where I take a game from the very beginning and the first 2 or 3 levels, and everything that you should do in those first couple of levels, because there are points in the game that if you don't do something, it's gone forever and you'll totally miss out on what happens after that. So I've got a lot of, I don't know if it's spoilers, but it's essentially a guide. It's like a 2 or 3 level guide on what you should do when you first start playing this game. Now it's going to change because they've added this new content, but I still think it'll be relevant. But anyhow, check out some of those in my channel, and this is a great game. I'd pick it up. Let's see, what is it? $33. So this is the first sale that they've had. Come Christmas, it'll be cheaper for sure. It'll probably be $29, maybe $24, somewhere around there, Christmas time. So if you've been on the fence about this, it's something that you could pick up now. If you still want to hold out, you could save another $5, maybe $10 by Christmas with the sale that they have going on then. All right, let's switch over to the Xbox. So there was a couple notable things here. I am not a huge fan of the Final Fantasy series, but this Final Fantasy 15 looked really interesting to me. The combat looked really cool. The characters look cool. For me, anime, I have a love-hate relationship with anime. I love anime in general. I love the cartoons. I like the style, the art style. I do like how dark anime can be, how violent sometimes it is. But the thing I don't like about anime is how babyish it can be sometimes as well. And a lot of the computer games and the Xbox and console games, they have this really childish, sophomoric aspect to it. These characters that are really silly and goofy, and for me, it ruins the immersion. Final Fantasy does that, or has done that. This particular game didn't look like it did that much, so I do have it on my list. So that's one game if you're interested in. It's on sale. They've got the premium, they got the regular. Let's see what else. Yeah, so that's about it. Pretty decent deal. The next one's Destiny. Now, if you haven't played Destiny by now, or you don't know what it is, you're pretty much hiding under a rock. It's the only game like it. There are games that are similar, but there is no other game that has a cooperative shooter MMO RPG style game like this. It's got PvP elements, it's got cooperative RPG elements to it. It's really kind of a unique game. Wireframe is not the same. It's different. It has more features, it's got some other different things, but it's not the same as Destiny. What's the, I forget, PlanetSide, the Sony one. PlanetSide, it's not the same. There's just no futuristic first-person shooter MMO RPG game out there like this. And that's why it's unique, and that's why I think everybody loved it so much. It's a great game. And now, when it first came out, it had a lot of problems, and it's since gotten really good. And my son and I have played it like crazy. And if you haven't bought it, you've got the Taken King for $11.99. Now, I don't know if that includes... No, it doesn't look like it includes the base game. You've got the Destiny Collection for $38. So here's the only caveat to this. If you haven't played it and you want to get into Destiny, this is a good time because you can get basically everything that they've got for $39. And it's great. Destiny 2 is right on the horizon. It's coming out September 8th, I believe. So, you have a choice. You can buy this now. It's a good price, or just hold out until Destiny 2 comes out and spend your money there instead. Now, I bought this. My son and I played it like crazy. We've kind of not stopped playing it because we know Destiny 2 is coming out, and I will end up buying Destiny 2 when that comes out as well. So this one's totally up to you. It's a pretty good deal. I suspect the closer that we get to the Destiny 2 release, this price is going to plummet. You'll see the full collection. You'll see that probably around the $15 price, the closer that we get to September. The next one is Plants vs. Zombies. Now, Garden Warfare 2. I am not a huge fan of this, but my son loves it. He plays it constantly. If you like the Plants vs. Zombies and kind of the silliness and the characters and everything, it's a pretty fun game. It has a sticker shop, and yes, you can spend money, and it's got microtransactions and all that business. But I think the game is actually pretty fair when you play it, with how it gives you in-game currency to buy your stickers, and those stickers are how you get the other characters. And like I said, my son plays it all the time. He loves it. It's a pretty fun game. Yes, you're shooting, but I do think it's a fairly kid-friendly game. The next one that I see here is the Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Now, I don't own this one, but I do own the previous Mirror's Edge, and it is a really unique game. It came out when parkour really exploded on the scene, and Ultimate Warrior, Ninja Warrior, and all that stuff first came out. They made this game to kind of capitalize on how popular parkour was and everything. And there's some fighting in it, but you're not shooting, and it's, there's a lot of like karate or ninjutsu or some martial arts. I don't know exactly which one that it's modeled off of, but the girl in it is a parkour master, and she can run across walls. Some of the things that we've seen in like Prince of Persia and those sorts of games, but this game is much more heavily focused on agility and doing those sorts of moves. So this is a cool game, and it's $6.60. That's pretty darn cheap. It's you're not going to go much cheaper than that. Possibly $4.99, but $6.60 is about as cheap as it's going to get. The last one is Worms Battlegrounds. If you're a Worms fan, I think this is just more of the same. I've always liked the Worms games. They're kind of fun to waste time. It's not something that I get intimately involved with, and I spend tons and tons of hours on it. But they are kind of fun to spend some time on, and little worms shooting these little weird gadgets at each other. So it's pretty fun. Anyhow, that's it for this week. Keep your eye out. I have not had a chance to make my play videos of Black Death or Stable Orbit. I do have the keys for those. I will be giving those keys away, I promise. I just haven't had a chance to do it. So keep your eyes open. Please, if you buy any of these games, use the links in my video description. Anytime you buy anything, it helps support me and my channel, and I can continue making these videos. One other thing I'd like to note is my daughter is making the thumbnails now, so I've got her involved in this. My son, I'm going to hopefully have him start actually producing the videos. That's the part of the reason why I started doing this as well, is as a learning experience for them, and so that they can kind of get their hands on it. They really like doing all this digital stuff, and so I am making the videos, and when they want to be in them, they can, but they're also helping me put these things together. So I just wanted to say thank you to them, and know that my two 10-year-olds are working on this stuff with me. Anyhow, that's it for this week. Stay tuned for just a couple of play videos, and I will see you next week. Have a good night.